Hey, Annie. Welcome to your personalized deep dive.
Oh, this is exciting.
It is. Today we're exploring a topic, like the back of your hand, wedding flower trends.
Okay.
But with a twist, we're looking ahead to 2025.
Ooh, very cool.
Your 20 years in the industry, from those bustling flower markets in the US and Europe,
Yeah,
to navigating the global and Chinese supply chains, have given you incredible insight.
that's true.
Plus, you're constantly connecting with customers all over the world. It's like you have a sixth sense for what's about to bloom.
It is pretty impressive. Not many have that depth of experience across so many markets.
Right.
That's why we're also bringing in some extra intel,
Mhm.
a sneak peek into a floral industry podcast called 20 Must-Have Wedding Flower Products for 2025.
Okay.
It's full of predictions, and we're going to see how those mesh with your hands-on expertise.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yes.
The podcast dives right into preserved flowers, calling them a must-have.
I've heard about this.
It seems longevity is the key here. Unlike fleeting fresh flowers, these beauties last for years, making them a lasting keepsake. For sure.
What's fascinating here is the connection to a bigger trend, sustainability.
Okay.
Couples are increasingly eco-conscious,
Yeah,
and preserved flowers fit that bill perfectly.
totally.
Plus, they tap into that desire for something unique and lasting.
Right.
Annie, given your knowledge of supply chains,
Yeah.
do you see any hurdles or advantages in sourcing high-quality preserved flowers, especially as demand rises?
That's a great question. I'm curious about your perspective on that too, Annie.
Yeah.
The podcast then jumps to a trend that's definitely eye-catching: sculptural floral installations.
Ooh.
Imagine these artistic creations made with both fresh and dried blooms, transforming venues into floral wonderlands.
Wow.
Arches, hanging installations, even entire walls covered in flowers talk about making a statement.
I'm seeing this trend grow too.
Yeah.
It's all about creating an immersive experience for guests,
Yeah.
something truly memorable.
Yes.
And this makes me wonder, does this trend align with Sweetie Gift's current product line? Or could it be a whole new avenue to explore?
Interesting. Now let's shift gears to bouquets.
Okay.
The podcast highlights a clear move toward personalization,
Mm-hmm.
from cascading bouquets with their dramatic flair
Yeah.
to single-stem bouquets with their minimalist elegance.
Right.
Couples are choosing styles that reflect their individual personalities.
Makes sense.
Annie, you've witnessed this trend firsthand across different cultures.
I have.
What unique bouquet styles have caught your eye?
Mm.
And do you see a shift in what resonates with certain markets?
That global perspective is invaluable. I'd also add that dried flowers are making a strong comeback in bouquets.
How interesting.
They offer a textural, rustic charm that aligns with that desire for natural elements we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And then there are monofloral bouquets focusing on just one type of flower for a clean, chic look.
Okay.
Annie, have you noticed any specific dried flowers or single flower types gaining traction with your customers?
That's a great question. Have you seen any regional differences there, Annie? We'd
Yeah.
love to hear your insights. Now let's move on to decor items, where things get even more exciting.
I love this part. Let's see what creative trends are bubbling up.
Right. The podcast kicks things off with ceremony arches, those beautiful floral backdrops for the vows.
Oh, yeah.
They've become almost essential, setting the scene for the entire wedding.
Yeah.
And what's really smart is that they can be prepared in advance using preserved flowers so they last throughout the day.
Practical and pretty.
Exactly.
It's all about practicality and visual impact. Another trend I'm seeing is incorporating fruits into table centerpieces.
Ooh.
A playful twist that adds unexpected color and texture.
I like it.
Think vibrant citrus slices or pomegranates nestled among the blooms.
Okay.
Annie, with your eye for design and knowledge of diverse markets,
Yeah.
I bet you could dream up some truly unique combinations that would wow your customers.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The podcast also talks about hanging floral installations.
wow.
We're talking chandeliers made entirely of flowers, cascading arrangements suspended from the ceiling, a whimsical touch that transforms the atmosphere.
Beautiful.
I'm picturing these installations in some of the venues your customers use, Annie.
Yeah.
What do you think? A hit or a miss?
It's definitely a trend worth considering. It plays into that desire for a truly immersive experience, something that goes beyond the traditional decor.
And speaking of experiences, the podcast also suggests floral gift baskets for the wedding party or guests.
Oh, nice.
It's a thoughtful gesture that extends the floral theme and allows for personalization.
I like that. And for the eco-conscious, they suggest potted plants as a sustainable alternative to cut flowers.
Okay.
It's a gift that lives on a lovely reminder of the wedding day.
Yeah.
Annie, with your focus on global trends,
Yeah.
have you noticed any regional differences in the popularity of gift baskets or potted plants?
It would be great to get your take on that, Annie. The podcast then moves on to accessories and supplies,
Hi.
emphasizing the importance of offering a variety of unique vases.
Right.
It's like framing a work of art. The right vase can truly elevate the presentation of flowers.
And with the growing popularity of preserved flowers, having vases that showcase their beauty and longevity is crucial.
For sure.
And given your experience visiting factories and understanding production processes, are there any specific materials or designs that you think would be particularly well suited for preserved flower arrangements?
That's a great question. And speaking of innovation, the podcast suggests floral subscription services as a way to build lasting relationships with customers.
Yeah.
Couples could receive seasonal blooms before and after the wedding, extending the joy of flowers beyond the big day.
Now that's interesting. It's a clever way to capitalize on the ongoing trend of subscription services and create recurring revenue.
Right.
Annie, I'm curious to hear your thoughts of this model.
Okay.
Do you see it as a viable option for sweetie gifts?
Yeah.
Given your existing infrastructure and customer base?
Yeah.
What potential challenges or opportunities do you see?
That's a really interesting idea. For the DIY-minded couple, the podcast highlights wedding flower kits
Okay.
as a fun and creative option.
Yeah.
These kits come with everything needed to create their own arrangements, adding a personal touch to the decor.
It's a smart way to cater to that desire for personalization we've been discussing. It
Exactly.
also taps into the growing trend of DIY projects, especially for weddings.
Right.
Do you think there's a market for this type of product among your customers? Have you observed any regional variations in DIY wedding trends?
That's a great question. We'd love to hear your perspective on that, Annie. Now let's move on to some classic accessories.
Okay.
The podcast mentions flower crowns and hairpieces, particularly those made with preserved flowers for lasting enjoyment.
They're romantic, whimsical, and perfect for that bohemian bridal look.
And the use of preserved flowers ensures they become a cherished keepsake, adding to their sentimental value.
First, Annie, have you noticed any specific flower types or designs that are particularly popular for hair accessories in different regions?
Yeah.
Your insights from those diverse markets would be fascinating.
Absolutely. And let's not forget the groom.
Right.
The podcast emphasizes the importance of floral boutonnieres, those small but stylish details that tie the wedding's floral theme together.
They're a classic element that adds a touch of elegance and coordination to the groom's attire. And with the rise of personalized details, we're seeing more unique and creative boutonnieres that reflect the couple's individual style.
I like that.
Annie, have you noticed any trends in boutonniere styles across different cultures or regions? I imagine your global experience has exposed you to a wide range of traditions and preferences.
For sure. Petal confetti gets a shout out for creating a romantic and sustainable touch as the couple walks down the aisle.
It's a beautiful and biodegradable alternative to traditional confetti, adding to the visual spectacle and eco-friendly nature of the ceremony. Annie, have you seen any unique or regional variations on petal confetti traditions? Perhaps incorporating specific flowers or colors that hold cultural significance?
Now, for a real wow factor, the podcast suggests wedding flower walls.
Oh, wow.
These lush, vibrant walls covered in flowers are perfect for photo opportunities and create a stunning backdrop.
While flower walls are undeniably eye-catching,
Yeah.
I wonder about their practicality for smaller venues or budgets. Annie, given your experience working with a diverse range of clients and venues,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on the feasibility and appeal of flower walls across different markets?
That's a great point. Personalized flower arrangements also get a nod as thoughtful and memorable gifts.
Custom designs based on the couple's favorite flowers or wedding color scheme add a truly special touch.
For sure.
It's a wonderful way to celebrate their unique love story. Annie, have you noticed any specific trends in personalized floral gifts across different cultures? Perhaps certain flower types or presentation styles that hold particular significance in different regions? I imagine your global perspective offers unique insights into these nuanced traditions.
And lastly, floral photography props are mentioned for those picture-perfect wedding photos.
Flower-filled frames, garlands, and other small floral props can enhance the visual storytelling of the wedding day, creating opportunities for unique and creative shots.
I love that.
Annie, I'm curious, have you noticed any regional preferences or emerging trends in floral photography props? Your experience working with photographers and couples from various backgrounds would be incredibly valuable here.
Okay, so we've explored a ton of trends from sustainable choices to personalized touches and immersive experiences.
Yeah.
It's clear that the wedding flower industry is evolving rapidly, driven by changing values and a desire for unique and memorable celebrations.
It's a fascinating time to be in this industry. And Annie, with your extensive experience and global perspective, you're perfectly positioned to navigate these trends and create something truly special for Sweetie Gifts.
Absolutely. But before we jump to conclusions, let's take a moment to synthesize all this amazing information and see what stands out.
Let's distill these trends into actionable insights for Annie and Sweetie Gifts.
Annie, it's incredible how you've woven your experiences from across the globe into this conversation. What stands out to you from all these trends? Is there one in particular that sparks your interest or maybe even makes you say, that's perfect for Sweetie Gifts?
I'm also curious to hear your thoughts, Annie. From sourcing and logistics to understanding cultural nuances, your expertise is truly remarkable.
Hmm?
This deep dive has highlighted some exciting possibilities for Sweetie Gifts.
Right.
We've talked about sustainability, personalization, creating immersive experiences, and even incorporating technology.
Absolutely.
It's really fascinating.
You've given us so much to think about, Annie. As we wrap up this deep dive, we want to leave you with a final, thought-provoking question to ponder. Given your deep understanding of the flower industry, your diverse customer base, and the trends we've discussed, what unique twist could you bring to Sweetie Gifts to really make it stand out in 2025?
What can you offer that's not just on trend, but truly reflects your vision and sets Sweetie Gifts apart?
Perhaps it's about sourcing exclusive flowers, creating a signature style that blends global influences, or incorporating technology in a way that's never been done before.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Whatever it is, we're confident you'll find that special something, Annie.
We can't wait to see Sweetie Gifts bloom in 2025 and beyond.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, Annie.